You keep telling yourself you need more discipline, more motivation, more willpower. But what if that's not the real problem? What if the reason you can't focus is because you've built a life that makes distraction easier than progress? Think about it. You sit down to work. 5 minutes later, your phone lights up. One notification, one message, one video, one quick scroll. Suddenly, an hour is gone. Not because you made a decision to waste it, because distraction made the decision for you. And day after day, it keeps stealing pieces of your life. Until one day, you wake up wondering where all your potential went. Listen carefully. Focus isn't something you find. It's something you protect. A soldier standing guard doesn't leave the gate open and hope no enemies walk through. He closes it. He watches it. He defends it. Because he understands one truth. What enters determines what survives. Your mind is no different. Every notification, every unnecessary conversation, every endless scroll, every meaningless distraction, they're all enemies standing outside the gate. And you've been inviting them inside. Imagine trying to light a fire during a storm. Every time the flame begins to grow, the wind blows it out. Would you blame the fire? Or would you build a shelter around it? Your attention is that fire. It doesn't need more fuel. It needs protection. Most people aren't lacking ambition. They're leaking it. A little here, a little there. One video, one text, one email, one interruption. By the end of the day, there's nothing left for what actually matters. A lion doesn't chase every animal that runs across the savannah. If it did, it would starve. It chooses. It waits. It focuses. Because every chase costs energy. Every distraction costs yours too. Every time you switch tasks, you leave a piece of your concentration behind. Eventually, your mind becomes crowded. Not with progress, with unfinished thoughts. That's why you feel mentally exhausted, even when you haven't accomplished much. A blacksmith forging a sword doesn't stop after every hammer strike to check his phone. He keeps striking. Again, again, again. Because momentum creates mastery. Interruption destroys it. The strongest work you've ever done probably happened when you forgot the world existed. Hours passed. You weren't checking the clock. You weren't chasing stimulation. You were completely immersed. That's not an accident. That's what your brain was built for. Deep focus. But deep focus cannot survive shallow habits. Imagine an eagle soaring above the mountains. It isn't staring at every movement below. It locks onto one target, one direction. Everything else becomes irrelevant. That's why it catches what smaller birds miss. Not because it flies faster, because it refuses to scatter its attention. Your life changes when your attention becomes selective. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most distractions aren't forced upon you. They're welcomed. You keep your phone beside your bed. You leave dozens of browser tabs open. You say yes to every invitation. You answer every notification as if it's an emergency. Then you complain that you can't concentrate. You don't have a focus problem. You have a boundary problem. Storms reveal weak foundations. Distractions reveal weak priorities. Your purpose becomes strong enough. Saying no becomes easier. Not because temptation disappears. Because your mission becomes more valuable than the interruption. Think about a sculptor standing before a block of marble. He doesn't create the masterpiece by adding more stone. He creates it by removing everything that doesn't belong. That's your life. Focus isn't about adding more productivity hacks. It's about removing what's unnecessary. Less noise. Less clutter. less scrolling, less mindless consumption, until only what matters remains. A farmer doesn't allow weeds to grow beside his crops hoping they'll somehow coexist. He removes them, because weeds don't need permission to spread. Distractions don't either. Ignore them long enough, and they'll slowly consume everything you've planted. Your dreams deserve better than divided attention. Your future deserves better than leftover energy. Every great achievement in history demanded periods of isolation. Moments where someone chose purpose over pleasure, progress over entertainment, silence over noise. Those moments weren't glamorous. They were lonely. But they changed everything. Imagine climbing a mountain carrying a backpack filled with rocks. Every unnecessary app, every meaningless habit, every distraction. Another rock. You wonder why you're moving so slowly. The answer isn't always to become stronger. Sometimes, it's to carry less. One day, people will ask how you became so productive, how you accomplished so much. They'll think you discovered some secret. But the truth is much simpler. You stopped saying yes to everything. You started protecting your attention like it was your greatest asset. Because it is. Money lost can be earned again. Muscle lost can be rebuilt. Time, attention, those never return in the same way. So stop asking, how do I focus more? Start asking, what do I need to eliminate? Because every distraction you remove creates space for excellence. Every unnecessary habit you abandon makes room for greatness. The world is designed to pull your eyes in 1,000 different directions. Your job is to choose one and stay with it. Because extraordinary people aren't always the smartest. They aren't always the most talented. Often, they're simply the ones who protected their focus long enough to finish what everyone else abandoned. So guard your mind. Protect your attention. Eliminate what weakens you. And one day, you'll look back at the life you've built and realize it all began the moment you stopped feeding your distractions and started feeding your purpose. If this message lit a fire in you, then it's time to act. Drop this in the comments right now. I protect my focus every single day so that I know you stayed all the way till the end. And you will eliminate distractions and stay locked in on the life you're building.